One day, I was in my uni house, eating my beans on toast, and my housemate came in raving about this Plants vs Zombies challenge he made. I think it got a good 20 views at least or something, but I looked down at my soggy beans on toast and I came up with an idea. What if I could beat Plants vs Zombies 2 with only beans? The rules will be simple. Other than the levels that force you to use other plants, I must only use plants with bean in a name. This includes plants like the spring bean, the chili bean, the laser bean, and the sun bean. To avoid making this challenge trivial, I will also avoid using power-ups. But first, why don't you subscribe so you can flex to your friends that you've been following me from the very start. We start by entering the tutorial, where we are forced to use other basic plants, but I don't see any beans here, so of course I just let nature take its course. The first few levels are all tutorials with infinitely respawning lawnmowers, making it impossible to lose. So I just sat there and watched the zombies slaughter themselves for fun. With the tutorials all finished, I have finally unlocked the Goopy Goobers, also known as the Whoie bean. This didn't come cheap, so I hope you all appreciate me more than Prince Andrew appreciates the legal age of consent. Day 6 is the first of many boss levels, but guess what? It's a conveyor belt level. These levels absolutely suck, since it won't let me flick beans at the zombies. It is here that I also came to a sudden realisation. The lawnmowers no longer respawn from this point onwards, meaning I have to make the executive decision to play these levels normally, or else I'll just have to keep giving these zombies brain. Finally, on day 7, this is where the challenge finally begins for real. And I know what you're thinking, but Whoie, this looks really easy. Well, allow me to inform you that it's not as easy as it may look. The timer on these beans are absolutely stupid. They take forever to allow for another use. It is for this reason that this premium bean requires the utmost intelligence to use. And if you know me, you are well aware that I am the most intelligent gamer around. I'm so smart I even doxed myself on live streams.
My name is Walter Hartwell White.
Nevertheless, day 7 was still a breeze. However, day 8 annoyed the ever-living fuck out of me. It was harder than anything I've faced thus far. I've even lost a few times on this level. However, I then learned an important lesson for this challenge. Sometimes, sacrifices must be made in the name of the holy beans. Day 9 I managed to complete first try. However, here I also learned that after I place a bean, it takes a while for them to send out a Goopy Goober, so I had to learn patience and not send the bean straight in to die. I may be at war with these zombies, but that doesn't mean I'm heartless and will send my soldiers in to die instantly. Day 10 was just as easy. I did it first try. There was nothing really that notable about this one, but for some reason, this level in particular just made me sad as I reminisced on better times. I can forgive EA about what they did to Titanfall and the travesty that was Plants vs Zombies 3. However, I will not forgive them for what they did to the Garden Warfare franchise.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Moving on to day 11, I was forced to use other plants, so let's just pretend like that never happened. Day 12 and 13 were simple levels where I just had to make a few lawnmower sacrifices, but on day 13 I had to also compete with Dave, who was planting mould everywhere. You know, I'm starting to think that Crazy Dave may have been responsible for a certain virus outbreak. This level turned out to be a bitch, because planting these Whoie beans further forward meant they had less time to send out Goopy Goobers. I mean, I was already finding it hard enough to find my mouse cursor on this emulator, so I was very much struggling for time management at this point. Although I could negate this issue of waiting for Goopy Goobers to spawn by feeding them plant food, which spawns in the Incredible Hulk.
I have an army. We have a Hulk.
Look, I'ma be real. I got nothing to say about day 14 without repeating myself, so from now on I'm just gonna skip over the piss easy stages. Just know, when I unlock the laser bean, he will become my main plant, so this army of Goopy Goobers you're seeing now, you better savour it, cause it ain't gonna be here long. The next challenge really doesn't show up until day 17, where my nemesis turns up. The Torch Zombie. I mean, he's turned up before, but this time he was a real dickhead. This guy can just take out any of my beans with one swipe of his torch. He literally made me want to go into a corner and cry. But this was a gimmick level as well, so I could only plant 14 times. And in the end, I managed it. But I wanted to go into a corner, cry, then grab that torch and shove it so far up whatever ass he had left. Day 18 was another gimmick level, a prepare your defences level. And oh boy did I prepare. I'm pretty sure I had more goopy goobers coming towards the zombies than they had coming to me. I just find it slightly ironic that the bean zombies are the ones going to eat meat and these zombies are coming to eat vegetables. Day 20 was the next challenging level, and since the torch zombies spawn at the very start, I firmly believe that with the Whoie bean, this level is factually impossible. I hate these zombies so fucking much. I tried everything. I tried planting the Whoie beans in different locations at different times over the course of an hour. I gathered an hour of footage trying to get this to work. But even with this broken ass plant, it was still fucking hard. The issue was they just got burnt as soon as the torch zombie approached, and even if I put down enough of these Whoie beans to kill the torch zombies, then 2 regular ass zombies would come walking down other lanes, and since the cooldown is super long, I could not send out any more Whoie beans in the time it would take them to come and eat the endangered plants. It was so hard. In the end, I just had to swallow my pride and buy plant food for 1,000 coins to skip the cooldown of the Whoie bean spawning in zombies. And even with this, it was still a bitch. It was so hard, and I only barely, just barely, managed to scrape by the skin of my teeth. When I have more beans, I will come back to this day, and I will force feed these zombies another British delicacy: rat and bean soup. With day 20 finally complete, the next challenge didn't come until we faced Dr. Zomboss himself, which is what I would be saying if it wasn't another stupid conveyor belt gimmick level. He went down just a little bit too easy. But with that, Egypt is complete, and I gotta say, I've never been so excited to do a challenge run, but hey, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you don't believe me that day 20 was impossible, I brought in my good old friend Shagrots Cave to give it a try.
Right, get it done.
You had to equip them that.
It's somewhat of a calling card, you could say. I had the same issue. It was the 3rd day of the world.
3rd day of ancient Egypt.
3rd day of ancient Egypt. That was the one that caused me strife.
But the lawnmowers respawn.
I didn't ever use that though.
I guess you could say you could have been more prepared.
Oh, shut the fuck up. We had some. Yeah, okay. There's not a chance. He doesn't even come on the screen yet.
Impossible.
Well, when Whoie told me he couldn't beat this level, I called him a. But no, do you know what? That's not possible.
Say the line.
This level's nuts.
There we go. And that concludes part 1 of my Plants vs Zombies 2 Bean Only Challenge. If you liked what you've seen, why not go check out my other videos? I'll be back soon with part 2. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.